Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome to our last guest speaker spot for now. I maybe well be doing this again in the future at some point. And today it is the turn of Bits and Bobs, who are a very interesting coin channel and stacker channel as well. Go and check them out. There's a link in the description box below, and let's hear what they've got to say on the subject of gold versus silver.
Hello and welcome back to Bits and Bobs, or I should say hello and welcome to Bits and Bobs for many new viewers, of course, as this is going to be a video on Backyard Bullion's channel. So a massive thank you to him for letting us, for hosting this video on his channel. Now let's get straight into it now, and I'll introduce myself in a minute. But today's video is just simply going to be silver versus gold. The eternal question for stackers: silver versus gold, the pros and cons of each, and what I do personally as a stacker. What ratio do I stack them in? What's better in my opinion? And of course, not just opinions, but as well with facts as well, backing up the decision and the facts behind why gold or silver is better than the other, or are they equal? We'll look into that in today's video. So get ready. So it should be very interesting and very insightful for any gold and silver stackers. So very quickly before we begin, I will introduce myself. I am one of 3 members of Bits and Bobs, a coin collecting and bullion channel in the UK. We're run by 3 people, as I say, and all of us here at Bits and Bobs do love silver and gold bullion, although we sort of do mainly collect coins rather than stack. But of course, any coin collector being in this world of YouTube cannot see all these videos about stacking and notice the benefits of stacking, and therefore we all do stack silver and gold as well. So once again, a final big thank you to Backyard Bullion for hosting us on today's video, and without any further ado, let's jump in to today's video of silver versus gold. Today's video we split into 3 parts. Part 1, what silver and what gold to stack and why. Part 2, the pros of silver and gold. And Part 3, the cons of silver and gold. And we can decide at the end what has the best value overall for stackers and investors to mainly focus on. So, what silver to stack is a very good question. Now I have here a Silver Britannia, and this is an older style one from 2012. It's not pure 999 silver, as with some of the more modern ones. As you can see here, this is a 2023 one, and this is 999 silver, as it says. This one is 952, I believe, or just a bit more than sterling, but a bit less than 999. However, silver does come even less pure than that. Now, I do personally myself like to stack some sterling silver, some old sterling silver coins here. These are 92.5% silver, and I also like to stack a lot of 50% silver, as you can see here. So these coins are all 0.500 silver, so you need 2 of each coin. So we have here 2 sixpences, and there's only 1 sixpence worth of pure silver within this bundle there. So what silver to stack? A lot of you may be thinking, well, get the purest silver, because that is the closest you'll get to sort of actual silver, as it were, and it's better for the refiners. Now that is true. Refiners, generally less than 70% silver, and the refiners aren't going to want it as much. So they'll pay less for this because it will cost more for them to actually refine this and get the actual pure silver out of something like this, an old 50% shilling, than it would, say, sterling, or especially these would be very easy to get silver out of a mostly pure silver coin like these Britannias. However, there is the reverse to that. This is very, very cheap because it's already made. I mean, this was made during World War II, so it's sort of already there and can be bought for much closer to the silver price, as that is the price behind it, really. That's the only value this coin has, the silver value. Whereas this coin here has obviously had to have been refined and then melted and minted and everything. And it's quite new, especially the new ones. And as they're quite new, they've still got the cost of the mints and the bullion dealers needing to get a premium out of them. And so because they've been made to a premium standard with the purest of the pure silver, hologram features of security and all that, they will cost more to buy, but you'll get more out of them at the end. So I believe personally for this, it's actually good to have a mix, and you have to think about your exit strategy as well. So if you plan to sell to a dealer, then I would recommend, if you're going to stack, say, 1,000 Silver Britannias, and in 35 years sell it back to a dealer, I would recommend these, as they give the highest price per ounce for these compared to something like this. But if you're just purely looking to add weight to your stack of silver, and you're going to exit by maybe peer-to-peer selling on like places like the Silver Forum, or just like to a friend or to an antique shop or someone who you know quite well, or maybe all over the place, you have some of each. Some will go to a dealer, some will go to a auction, some will go to a friend, then I would believe that a good mix of the stuff is good. These coins can be got at a very close to spot in the right places. You can get these for roughly maybe at the moment 62 pence a gram, quite easily, very, easily to do per pure gram, I should say, per fine gram, about 62 pence per gram. Whereas Britannia's, actually, there's quite a high premium. Some dealers sell them as high as closer to £30 when they're worth more like a little under £20 with current prices. Some dealers you can get them around £25. It's sort of the lowest you can get them from a dealer. That is a £7 premium, or quite high price compared to the low premiums of older coins. So in my opinion, for silver, where and what silver to get a bit of both depending on your strategy when you come to sell. For gold, it's much more simple. For gold in the UK, you just simply need, in my humble opinion, disagree if you want to, but you need to get anything that is capital gains tax free if you're planning to stack a lot, and that's cheap. This is a premium piece, and gold does depend on budget because of its price. But this is a Britannia, so any gold Britannias or any gold sovereigns, this is actually a half sovereign, but they will all have a face value. So half sovereign 50 pence, doesn't say it on it, but it is legal tender face value. And the Britannia, as this one does say, is £10. So if it's a legal tender coin, that will exemptify it from being taxable at the end. And you can stack gold bars. They do generally have, fairly low premiums. But that's up to you if you want to avoid tax. My honest opinion for stacking gold is get the biggest capital gains tax free you can under an ounce. Now, I don't like ounce golds because they're going to, realistically, if you're going to believe in gold, you then will believe that they'll be worth over £2,000 when you come to sell. And it's just much, in my opinion, worse to have a coin worth £2,000 than to have 4 coins worth £500 if you, for instance, bought, quarter ounces, or gold sovereigns. Again, they can be bought at very low premiums. Gold sovereigns, I have one here that I bought pretty much for spot price back in the day. It's a 1981. I don't know why I put it in a slab because it's not very nice, but I bought this for £350 back in the day. So already a bit of profit made on this coin. But I think if I do look to sell one, this is maybe around 500. Not that I do plan to, but I hope, if you're planning to exit similar to that, then I'd rather have £500 coin units than a big £2,000 coin where all the value is locked up. So there's what to stack. Now moving on to part 2, sort of the benefits of silver and gold. So let's go through the benefits of silver. 3 benefits of silver. Firstly, it's very, very cheap. Now, if someone said to you they have 500 ounces of silver, you'd probably be quite impressed. That's quite, that's very good indeed. But it is definitely possible to do a 500 ounce silver stack, over a bit of time. That's fairly possible to do. If someone said to you they had 500 1-ounce gold coins or 500 ounces worth of gold, then you'd be like, did you win the lottery and didn't tell me? Because that's going to be worth so much more. So silver is much more accessible to get a large weight of it. And, therefore it has, a lot of people more interested in silver as to get gold, really, even something like this, which is a very, very small 1/10 ounce coin, actually costs closer to £200, which for a lot of people is kind of too much for one small bit of coinage there, with a fairly high premium as well. So the gold price would have to rise quite a bit to make more money back on this coin. So like I say, not for everyone. Now, another benefit for silver is the upside potential. Of course, silver is, not gold doubling price would be crazy to think about. It is true to say something like along the lines of $4,000 an ounce, or close to £4,000 an ounce is a sort of not crazy, not crazy, but a really would be a momentous occasion for the gold market. But silver doubling in price is much more valid as an idea, and actually has been more than double its price in the past. So it could potentially happen again if the market looks to that. And so say you'd invested £1,000 into gold and it went up maybe 10%, that's good. You've then made £100. But if you invested £1,000 into silver and it then doubles in price with a higher upside, you've then made £1,000. So silver's better for that reason. And the final benefit of silver is it's very, very used industrially, used in so many things in the industry, and therefore will be in constant demand, not just by stackers, but also by like jewelry distributors and for the electrical world of usage in the industry. Benefits of gold. Gold has been sought after by humans for thousands and thousands of years. Gold kind of personifies wealth, and therefore it's kind of just a known and just so globally well-known asset that if you've got a gold bar, literally anyone in any country will want that from you. If you've got a few £1,000 coins, then they're going to be valuable, but not really as valuable as a gold bar to the same rough kind of value. So gold is an international metal. Gold is held by central banks, and this is a good thing with gold. Let's get some more gold coins out here. But gold is actually the currency of banks. So no, in the current market, no national bank actually has any silver. Not even one country's national bank has any silver in their vaults. But of course, almost every national bank has gold, because that is the sort of the true wealth. If you think of the Bank of England, Fort Knox and stuff, a lot of countries' wealth is stored in gold. And so it's quite a cool thing for just the individual person to actually own wealth in the form that the countries, the literal massive countries, do in gold. And the final good thing about gold is there's no VAT on it, so it's actually capital gains tax free. It's basically exempt from all taxes in this form. This coin here there's absolutely no tax that can happen to this coin, no VAT, no CGT, a completely tax-free coin that you can just buy and sell at your will, hoping, as it has just done historically, actually perform better than silver so far, really, in the long run and in the short run. It'll go up in value and be a good store of wealth against inflation. So there's a lot of good things to say about gold. Bad things, gold, I mean, there are those believers out there that gold has potentially peaked or won't go too much higher, and it's already very high. So the thing with gold is a prohibitive price, both for buying, because like I say, an ounce of gold is a goal for many people to get, everyone will want an ounce of gold, but that's going to cost a lot of money to do. There's a big outlay of fiat currency. But then also, when you come to sell that, will it have gone up that much? Because will it be dictated such a high price? Now, I personally do believe there's a strong movement with gold, and it's not going to stop. But there is, of course, the potential that I didn't mention earlier. Silver has more potential to move upwards or downwards, to be fair with silver. That is one of the negatives. Now moving on to silver, it is very volatile. So if you invested £1,000 into silver today, it could quite easily be worth 800 tomorrow, but then 1100 next week. It's a very volatile metal in terms of, because the price just goes up and down. So unless you're holding for a really long time, which is what most people actually do, but over the short time and even the long time, really, it's a very volatile metal. And like I say, now there is silver an argument that it's a good time to buy because it's very low price compared to its historic prices. But there is also an argument that, well, since then it's just gone down, so wouldn't you be better going to gold that's hit all-time highs, and it's at all-time high pretty much now, and it's kind of sitting at its all-time high for the last while. So there's a bit of a ramble. I've tried to do it in a bit of a backyard bullion style ramble of silver versus gold, and I'll now tell you my personal plan. I'm a big fan of gold. I do love a bit of gold, and I also do love silver. I've got a big chest here full of these this side is 50% silver coins, and as we can see here, they're all 50% coins in that side. And then to the other side of this wooden box, I've got all sterling coins. But like I say, I also do very much like gold, and I do stack them both. And I will reveal my ratio of stacking. So I do it in not terms of ounces, but in terms of funds. So I do a 60 to 40% ratio. So if I had £1,000 to spend on precious metal, I would spend £400 on silver and £600 on gold. I believe this is a fairly good split because it kind of puts you well in both markets, fairly close to halfway, with a preference to gold, mainly due to the price of gold, of course, giving you a little bit of extra money to perhaps get, the sovereign rather than the quarter sovereign or half sovereign, sorry, just to get a bit more gold for your outlay. Just because if you're going to have both, you want to have a decent amount of both, and you can get a good amount of silver with 40% of your funds, but with gold, you're going to need a bit more to get the funding for it. So there we go. Like I say, a bit of a backyard bullion ramble there. Hopefully it was enjoyable to some of you. And if you do enjoy this kind of video, we do lots of reviews on coins, silver and gold, and as you can see here, lots of old coins as well. Then why not head over to the Bits and Bobs channel to see more coin content and more bullion content. Thank you for watching very much. And of course, as I say, I couldn't thank Backyard Bullion enough. Thank you to Backyard Bullion for this awesome opportunity to host a video on his wonderful channel. And I'm sure you will have, but if not, please do subscribe to Backyard Bullion.